I think your next lecture will be 10 o'clock ba? Tama ba? 10 o'clock. It will be an asynchronous lecture by Dr. Hiron. So he already posted a video lecture, recorded lecture in Moodle. Okay, so wala rin kayong laboratory, skills lab. What you'll have later in the afternoon is the actual orientation for the histology of the digestive tract. So may pagka chill lang kayo this Monday. Okay? Sa ating micro. Okay, so again, good morning. We will discuss the accessory organs of digestion. Okay? So, simple lang ang aking. Okay. Sensory organs. So our objective is we will describe the accessory organs of the digestive tract and correlate some common clinical conditions affecting the digestive tract. So these are our organs associated with the digestive tract. It includes the major salivary glands, which you had your lecture with Dr. Viloria last week. So what is the function of the salivary glands? It is to moisten and lubricate ingested food in the oral mucosa, if you still remember. Aside from the salivary glands, we have the pancreas, the liver, and the gallbladder. So tatlong organs lang ang i-discuss natin ngayon. The pancreas, the liver, and the gallbladder. Okay, so the pancreas, what is the function of the pancreas? It secretes digestive enzymes that act in the small intestines, and also it is an endocrine organ. So it also secretes hormones. Okay, the liver, anong function ng liver class? Kung ano lang, kung meron lang kayong idea. Narinig niyo ba yung pukpok ng kapitbahay namin? The liver is for the production of bile and the gallbladder is for the storage of bile. Okay, so this accessory organs, the product of these organs facilitate transport and digestion of food within the gastrointestinal tract. Okay. Okay, so first organ is the pancreas. Again, the pancreas is a mixed exocrine and endocrine gland. Okay, it produces both digestive enzymes and hormones. Okay, you've seen this sa gross, kasi nag-gross ako, so alam kong nag-discuss na tayo ng pancreas. Okay, this is an elongated retroperitoneal organ with a large head near the C-shaped duodenum. So this is your duodenum. Okay, so here is the head of the pancreas. Okay, so you can see it tapers. You have a narrow body and a tapered tail that extends to the left. Okay, so it is covered by a thin capsule of connective tissue, okay, that separates the parenchyma into lobules. So this is the microscopic picture of our pancreas. You can see the extension of the connective tissue, again separating the parenchyma, which is the pancreatic acini, into lobules. Okay, if you still remember, what is the endocrine function of the pancreas, or in here, what is responsible for the endocrine function of the pancreas? You have, may kausap pa ba ako? Section B. Gusto niyo ba recorded lecture na lang? Ha? Section B, can you still hear me? Baka naman wala na akong internet connection.
Yes po, Doc.
Sige, sige, magsasalita na lang ako. Parang siguro hindi kayo naka-advanced reading kasi nga nag-shifting exam. So the endocrine function of the pancreas is via the islets of Langerhans, if you still remember. And surrounding the islets of Langerhans, this cluster of grape-like structure that is the pancreatic acinar cells. Okay, inside we also have the ducts, the intercalated ducts, and we also have blood vessels within the lobule. So again, this is the islets of Langerhans, which is responsible for the endocrine function. It secretes hormones. What are the hormones secreted by the islets of Langerhans, class? Sagutin nyo lang ako. Sige.
Insulin.
Yes, the insulin. What else? The
Glucagon.
somatostatin. Okay, the beta cells secretes the insulin, the alpha, the glucagon, and the delta somatostatin. Okay, so here, this is the pancreatic acini, which is important for the digestion. Okay, because this pancreatic acini secretes digestive enzyme. So again, this is the exocrine part of the pancreas, acini. Okay, acini, plural, singular, acinus. Okay, so here is an acinus, a pancreatic acinus. It is surrounded by a basal lamina, okay, of reticular fibers. Okay, so here you can see each pancreatic acinus, they have a very small lumen. Okay, you have here the acinar cells. At the base, we have the nucleus. Okay, and the apex, you have here the zymogen granules. Okay, which are protein secreting. So again, your acinus, it is surrounded by a basal lamina. Near the basal lamina, you have here the nucleus, and at the apex, the zymogen granules. At the center, you have a small lumen, in this lumen is the beginning of your ducts. Okay, the central acinar cells, which is specific or unique in your pancreas. Okay. Again, another picture showing you higher magnification, showing you the zymogen granules at the apex. That is why your acinus, it is polarized. Okay, because at the base you have the nucleus, and at the apex you have the granules. Okay, so what are the organelles here? You have the rough endoplasmic reticulum for protein secretion, the Golgi apparatus, and here at the center, you have the lumen. Okay, so the digestive enzymes class produced here by the pancreatic acinus is drained into your short intercalated duct. Okay, so the beginning of the intercalated duct, you have here these flat cells. Ano nga ang tawag dito? You have here the centroacinar cells. This is again an extension of the intercalated ducts that drains the digestive enzyme. You can see that the intercalated duct, what is the lining of the intercalated duct, class? Wala talaga akong kausap. Anong lining na yan, class? Parang gusto ko na lang mag-record ng lecture. So you have here, you already studied the ducts when we studied the salivary glands, di ba? You have the intercalated, the intralobular, the interlobular. If it is inside the lobule, usually flat pa lang siya. Pag palabas ng palabas, doon na siya nagiging mataas, doon na siya nagiging columnar. Okay, so here, you have here the intercalated ducts again that drains the pancreatic enzyme. It is lined by simple squamous to low cuboidal, okay, epithelium. Then the enzymes from the intercalated duct now will go to the intralobular duct within the lobule. Okay, then after it will now drain to the interlobular duct, meaning in between the lobules. So here, the cells here, the epithelial cells, increases in size. So pag nasa interlobular ducts na, columnar na yung kanilang size ng ating cells. Okay, so the pancreas, again, it secretes approximately 1.5 liters of alkaline pancreatic juice per day, and it delivers it directly to the duodenum. Okay, so the bicarbonate ions produced in the pancreatic acini are neutralized. The bicarbonate ions neutralizes the acidic products of the pancreatic acini. So very important tong bicarbonate ions, which is produced in our intercalated ducts. Okay. intercalated ducts. Okay, so we have here different digestive enzymes, which includes the proteases, alpha amylase, lipases, nucleases, the DNAs, and the RNAs. Okay, so these are the functions of the proteases and the trypsinogens. Okay, so as I've said, the pancreas produces acidic digestive enzyme. So how will it protect itself? Okay? Paano niya mapoprotect yung sarili niya from autodigestion? Paano hindi masisira ang pancreas? Okay? Via the function of the intercalated ducts. Because your intercalated ducts produces bicarbonate ions that neutralizes again these enzymes. Also the trypsin inhibitor, which is a co-package in the secretory granules with trypsinogen. Okay. So the regulation of the pancreatic secretion, that is the job of the hormones and the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay. So the presence of proteins and fats in the duodenum stimulates the secretion of the cholecystokinin. Okay, which then stimulates the cyanide to secrete this enzyme-rich juice and enhance the activity of the secretin, which in turn causes the ductal cells to release the bicarbonate rich pancreatic juice. Okay, so in the presence again of fats, it stimulates the release of the cholecystokinin, which this cholecystokinin stimulates or promotes the secretion of the bicarbonates ion. Okay? May nakikinig pa ba sa akin? Paano naman, wala nang nakikinig sa akin. Nakikinig pa ba kayo? Parang wala. Yes po. Sobra naman. Ano na ba kayo, pagod na pagod na? Marami ba kayong exam this week? Ingay pa nung kapitbahay namin. May exam pa ba kayo this week? 3 weeks na lang mga kapatid. Okay, for our clinical condition, we have the pancreatic cancer. So we're done with the pancreas. Sabi ko naman, bear with me, napakaikli lang ng lecture natin, class. Sandali lang to. Kaya ko nga to ng 10 minutes eh. O, kaya pakinggan nyo na, ha? So pancreatic cancer, which is usually the carcinoma of the duct cells. Okay, it can arise anywhere in the gland, but occurs most commonly in the head of the pancreas near the duodenum. Okay, so the tumor is usually asymptomatic until growth and metastasize are well advanced. Okay, kaya low rate ang detection, early detection of the pancreas, hence increase yung mortality rate niya kasi late nga siya na-detect. Usually it is asymptomatic. Na na lang siya na may pancreatic CA, nagbo-bloat na lang siya, lumalaki na, pain. Ganyan nangyari sa lola ko. Hindi namin siya na-detect kasi nga asymptomatic siya hanggang lumalaki na lang yung kanyang abdomen, etc. Okay? So here, that is what happens in pancreatic cancer. Okay, so yung connective tissue surrounding the ducts, usually they invade the pancreatic acini inside. So pancreatitis, this is an inflammation of the pancreas. Okay, so usually the most common cause are alcoholism and gallstones. Okay, so yung mga alcoholic na yan. It can also lead to pancreatitis. We have the acute and the chronic pancreatitis. Of course, acute, this is a sudden and short bout of inflammation, while the chronic pancreatitis is usually an ongoing inflammation. Okay, acute pancreatitis, the proenzymes. In acute pancreatitis, the proenzymes may be activated and digest the pancreatic tissues, okay, leading to serious complications. Okay, possible causes again, infection, gallstones, alcoholism, drugs, and trauma. While the chronic pancreatitis can produce progressive fibrosis and loss of pancreatic function. Okay, next organ is the liver, which is the largest internal organ of the body, usually 1.5 kilograms or 2% of the body weight. Where is the liver located? Dito, sa right upper quadrant of the abdomen, just below the diaphragm. How many lobes does your liver have? You have 2 major lobes. the right and the left lobes with two smaller inferior lobes. Okay, it is covered by a thin capsule of mesothelium. Okay, so the capsule thickens at the hilum or the porta hepatis. Yan yung entry ng ating portal hepatic vein and the hepatic artery for the blood supply of the liver. Okay, so again, the major function of the liver is for the production of bile. Okay, the major digestive function of the liver again is production of bile, which is a major complex substance required for emulsification, hydrolysis, and uptake of fats in the duodenum. Okay? Okay, it also is the major interface between the digestive enzyme and the blood. Okay, as the organ in which nutrients absorbed in the small intestines are processed before distributing throughout the body. Okay, so 75% of the blood entering the liver is nutrient rich but oxygen poor. From what vessel class? From the tapos na to sa
Portal vein.
portal vein. Very good. Okay, portal vein arising from the stomach, intestine, and spleen. And the other 25% comes from the hepatic artery, which supplies the oxygen to the organ. Okay, so here, this is the liver, parenchyma, the hepatocytes. Okay, at the center is the central vein. Okay, radiating from the central vein are your hepatocytes again. So you can see, class, it is arranged in lobules. Okay, so you have here thousands of lobules in the liver. And at the periphery of the liver, you can see at the periphery of each lobules, rather you can see the portal area, which consists of 3 vessels. You have the portal vein, hepatic artery, and the bile duct. We call this the portal triad. So again, 3 to 6 portal area at the periphery of each liver lobule. Ha? So meron yan. Katulad nito, this is a lobule. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, 1, 2, 3, meron dito. Okay? So hindi lang isa ang nagsusupply sa liver. You have 3 to 6 portal area containing the portal triad. Are we clear? Clear ba tayo dun, class?
Yes po.
Yes po, Doc.
At may sumasagot. So the hepatocytes, that is the parenchyma of the liver. What are the functions of the hepatocytes? It synthesizes and endocrine secretion into the blood of the major plasma proteins, including the albumins, fibrinogen, apolipoproteins, transferrins, and many others. Okay, also these hepatocytes are important for the breakdown or detoxification and conjugation of, for the conversion of amino acids into glucose, that is gluconeogenesis, and the breakdown or detoxification and conjugation of ingested toxins such as drugs. Okay. So also hepatocytes is important for amino acid deamination, producing urea removed from the blood in the kidneys, also for storage of glucose in glycogen granules and triglyceride in small lipid droplets. Storage of vitamin A, removal of effete erythrocytes, meaning non-functional erythrocytes, storage of iron in complexes with protein ferritin. So again, this is the hepatocyte. You will see this during your laboratory. It is arranged in lobule. At the center, you have the central vein. So you have here the portal area at the periphery of each lobule. If you still remember, class, the hepatocytes, you have here large, cuboidal, or polyhedral in shape. How many nucleus? Mostly it is binucleated. Sometimes it can be mononucleated. It is centrally arranged. The nucleus centrally arranged. Okay, and it is arranged in cords, columns and rows. Okay, so in between the hepatocytes, you have the hepatic sinusoids, okay, which are discontinuous capillaries or fenestrated capillaries, okay? So here you have the perisinusoidal space located between the hepatocyte and the sinusoid. Okay, it contains blood plasma, or we call this perisinusoidal space as the space of Tisea. Okay, so the portal triad, you have three vessels here. You have the portal vein, again, which supplies the nutrients to our hepatocytes, to our liver. Okay, it is low in oxygen. You have here the hepatic artery. You can see the difference between the vein and the artery. The vein, usually they are large, they have large lumen, they are collapsible compared to your hepatic artery, which have a thicker muscular wall. Ito, maganda ito. This is a vein, this is an artery. You can see that the thicker muscular wall, small lumen, it is more circular compared to your vein. Okay, so this hepatic artery also supplies 25% of oxygen in our liver. And you have here the bile duct. Okay, bile duct may be one, maybe two in a portal triad. Okay, pwede siya minsan dalawa yung bile duct na yan. Okay, so here, this bile duct, you can see it is lined by, what is the lining again of your bile duct, if you still remember? Simple cuboidal epithelium. This one drains the bile produced by the hepatocytes. Okay? So again, what are the vessels in the portal triad? You have the portal vein, the hepatic artery, and the bile duct. The difference between the hepatic artery and the bile duct class, hepatic artery usually have thinner walls, small lumen. The bile duct, you can see class that it is lined by cuboidal cells. Okay? Okay, so Kupffer cells, these are the macrophages of the liver. Okay, they are stellate in shape. They usually are located within the sinusoidal lining. Okay, so the function is it phagocytose erythrocytes, effete erythrocytes. They are also antigen-presenting cells, and of course, they remove bacteria and debris in the portal blood. So again, you have here the Kupffer cells. Okay. May nag-message. Ito cells. These are perisinusoidal fat storing cells. We call this also the lipocytes. They are located at the space of Tisea, or the perisinusoidal space. Okay, what is the function of the ito cells? They store vitamin A and other fat soluble vitamins. Okay, also produces extracellular matrix components and cytokines that help regulate the Kupffer cell activity. Okay, so the bile. Okay, so the bile, again, they are produced by the hepatocytes, and they are drained in the bile canaliculi. Okay, so these bile canaliculi, they form a complex anastomosis of network of channels throughout the hepatocytes. Okay, it empty into the cholangiocytes. Okay, the bile ductus. So, ang flow ng bile natin, class, is different from the blood flow. Okay? Blood flow going to the central vein, the bile going to the portal area. Okay? So, magka-opposite yung direction ng ating bile and yung ating blood. So, here, class, you can see the bile canaliculi here, which drains the bile produced by the hepatocytes. They will drain into the bile duct. Okay, at the portal area. While the blood flow from here, from the portal area, going to the central vein. Okay. Okay, structure and functions of the liver. You have here these organelles important for the structure and function of the liver. The rough endoplasmic reticulum for the synthesis of plasma protein. Smooth detoxification of substance in blood, which are again excreted in bile. You have the glycogen granules, small lipid droplets, hemosiderin for the storage, temporary storage of glucose, triglycerides, and iron respectively. The peroxisomes for the oxidation of fatty acid, Golgi complex, synthesis of plasma proteins and bile components, and mitochondria, of course, which gives energy to the cell. Okay, so here class, listen. Concepts of structure, functional relations in the liver. We have the classic lobule, which emphasizes the endocrine function of the hepatocytes. Blood flow past them towards the central vein. Remember, hepatic lobule, classic lobule, okay? Or the classic hepatic lobule. The portal lobule is the exocrine function of the liver, the flow of bile from the hepatocytes going to the portal area. And the hepatic acynus or the portal acynus emphasizes on the nature of the blood supply to the hepatocytes and the oxygen gradient from the hepatic artery branch to the central vein. So we'll explain this, okay? Class, just give me like 1 minute. Ayusin ko lang yung class ng anak ko. Sorry. Okay, class. I'm back. Sabi ko nga 1 minute lang. Okay, so again, these are the diagram of the different concepts of the liver. So the hepatic lobule, from the portal area, from the portal vein, from the hepatic artery, the blood will drain to the central vein. The portal lobule from the hepatocytes, the bile canaliculi, the bile now will drain to the portal area, specifically at the bile duct. Here, the hepatic or the portal acynus. Listen here, class, ha? That is the nature of the blood supply to the hepatocytes and the oxygen gradient from the hepatic artery to the central vein. So here, you can see, class, that the liver or the hepatocytes near the portal area, okay, near the portal area is more oxygenated, has more blood supply compared to the area here near the central vein. So this hepatocytes here near the portal area, this is the zone 1. This is the most oxygenated. It gets the most oxygen and nutrients and can easily carry out functions that require oxidative metabolism such as protein synthesis. Okay, so ito, you have here the most oxygen from the hepatic artery, most nutrients from the portal vein. Okay, so ito. This one, this is the zone 3, hepatocytes near the central vein. Those are in the zone 3, okay? They get the least oxygen and nutrients, okay? So they are the preferential sites of glycolysis, lipid formation, and drug biotransformation. And take note, class, they are the first hepatocytes to undergo fatty accumulation and ischemic necrosis because, again, they have the least oxygen. Okay, so zone 2, that is the intervening zone between zone 1 and zone 3. Okay, that is the intermediate zone. Okay, you get it, class? Yes. Class, naririnig nyo ba yung pukpok ng kapitbahay namin? Naiinis na nga ako. Naririnig nyo ba yung pukpok? Hindi naman.
Yes po.
Yes po. Inis din ako, nadidistract ako sa aming kapitbahay. Wala naman akong magawa. Okay? So again, pero naiintindihan naman ako. Naririnig nyo rin naman ako.
Yes po.
Yes po. Irita lang yung pukpok na yan. Dapat pala nag-record na lang ako ng madaling araw. Okay? So again, zone 1, most oxygenated. Zone 3, least oxygenated. So in cases of liver injury, what are the hepatocytes that will be mostly affected? Nandito sa zone 3 because they have least oxygen content. Kasi central vein na ito. Okay? Clear ba tayo doon? Ha? Are we clear, class?
Yes po.
Yes po, Doc.
Iinis na nga ako. So here, liver cirrhosis. Nasa ano na tayo? Clinical condition. But may pumapasok pa. So here, in normal liver, as we've discussed, yung connective tissue natin is found only at the portal areas surrounding the liver lobule. Correct? In liver cirrhosis, you can see that the fibrosis proliferates. Okay? Papasok na siya sa ating mga lobule. Okay? Beyond the portal area. Nandun na siya sa hepatocytes natin. So, excessive connective tissue may disrupt the normal hepatic architecture and interfere with the liver function. So, again, that is liver cirrhosis. Okay, fatty liver. This is a reversible condition in which you can see large lipid droplets containing triglycerides accumulate abnormally in the hepatocytes. This process is called steatosis. Okay? This disorder, they have multiple causes, but common siya sa alcoholism, and obesity. So kayo pag nag-iinom, mahilig mag-inom, fatty liver. Ano pa yung isang sinabi natin? Pancreatitis. Kaya talaga masama sa healthy ang pag-iinom eh. Char. Okay? Dapat in moderation lang. Okay? So accumulation of fats in the hepatocytes may produce progressive inflammation of the liver, or we call this inflammation of the liver hepatitis. Okay, but if it is caused again by accumulation of fats, we call this steatohepatitis. Okay, so as we said, reversible. Tigilan nyo lang yung pag-inom, tigilan nyo lang pagkain ng matataba, pwede maging normal ulit yung ating liver. Okay, nagre-regenerate ang hepatocytes natin, alam nyo ba yon? Okay, the biliary tract and the gallbladder. Okay, here, the bile produced. Oh, sige. The bile produced in the liver, saan siya dadaan? Bile canaliculi, then it will go to the bile duct. Okay, bile canaliculi going to the portal area, the bile duct. Okay, so the bile duct will now go to will become the common hepatic duct, then it will merge with the cystic duct. Okay, now it will become now the common bile duct. Okay, the main pancreatic duct will also merge with the common bile duct, and it will enter the duodenum here at the major duodenal papilla of Vater. Okay? So yan. Kaya yung ating mga bile, yung ating pancreatic juice, magmi-mix na siya before going to the duodenum. Okay? So here, last organ, the gallbladder, which is usually 8 to 10 centimeters long or 3 to 4 inches long. It is nested in the shallow area on the posterior side of the liver at the right lobe of the liver. This is a muscular sac that stores and concentrates the bile. Okay, so the bile from the liver, it is stored and concentrated here at the bile bladder. At the gallbladder. Okay, it is divided into 3 regions. You have the fundus, which is the widest portion, and it tapers medially. Okay, to become the body, and here you have the constricted portion, which is the neck. Okay, so yeah, the bile from the hepatic duct. Here, the common hepatic duct to drain at the common bile duct. Okay, so the gallbladder, that is a hollow pear-shaped organ. Again, it is attached at the lower surface of the liver. It is capable of storing 30 to 50 ml of bile. Okay, so you can see here, class, you have here the lining, the mucosa of the gallbladder. It is thrown into numerous folds like that of the stomach. Okay, para siyang rugae. Okay, you have here numerous folds at the mucosa of the gallbladder. If you remember, class, the mucosa, it is made up of your lining epithelium and the lamina propria. Okay, the lining epithelium of the gallbladder, it is lined by simple columnar epithelium. Okay, it doesn't have a submucosa. After the mucosa, you now have the muscularis layer, which is made up of smooth muscle fibers. So again, mucosa, and after the mucosa is the muscular layer, smooth muscle fiber. And you have here the outermost layer can be tunica adventitia or serosa. If it's tunica adventitia, usually it is attached to the liver. The serosa is the covering of the free border of the gallbladder. Kita natin yan. Here, pag attach siya sa liver, that is the tunica adventitia. Okay? Pag yung sa free border, that is tunica serosa. Again, it is lined by your mesothelium. So this is the mucosa, this is the tunica muscularis. Again, it is made up of smooth muscle. Okay, and you have here the adventitia or serosa. Okay, you have here, this is unique also to the gallbladder. Okay, at the mucosa of the gallbladder, specifically at the lamina propria, you have here these outpouchings of the mucosa. Okay, that is called the Rokitansky-Ashkoff sinus or the RA sinus, simply called the RA sinus. Okay, so again, these are just outpocketings of the mucosa. It doesn't have a specific function. This RA sinus. Okay, so conditions. Cholecystokinin. Paano ba nasi-stimulate ang ating gallbladder? Okay, so the cholecystokinin together with the secretin, okay, stimulates the gallbladder to contract and release the stored bile into the intestine. Okay, it is stimulated by the presence again of fats in the small intestine. Okay, for the conditions, we have here several conditions. So reabsorption of water from bile in the gallbladder is involved in the formation of gallstones, okay, in the lumen of the gallbladder or the biliary tract. This condition is called as cholelithiasis. Okay, so gallstones in the gallbladder, we call this the cholelithiasis. Okay, this disorder usually originates with a bile that already contains excessive amount of bile. Okay, gallstones. Okay, next, supersaturation of cholesterol in the bile can lead to the formation of cholesterol stones. Cholesterol stone. Again, supersaturation of cholesterol in bile, cholesterol stones. And you also have the cholecystitis. Cholecystitis, that is the inflammation of the gallbladder. It may be acute or chronic. Okay, so acute cholecystitis, usually it is caused by gallstone. Okay, so other causes are tumors. It may present with pain in the upper right side or upper middle part of the abdomen. Okay, when you have acute cholecystitis, usually you have fever, nausea, vomiting, and jaundice. Common yang cholecystitis. Okay, so pag paulit-ulit, several attacks of acute cholecystitis, it may lead to shrinking of the gallbladder, which can lead to chronic cystitis. Okay? So if nangyari yan, surgery is usually required. Hindi na yan makuha sa mga gamot-gamot. We have to remove it surgically. Okay, that's it. Tingnan mo, nung tapos na ako mag-lecture, doon naman tumigil yung pagpupukpok. Kanina pa ako nadidistract sa pagpupukpok. Okay, anyway, do you have any questions, class? Ha? This slide is also posted in Moodle. Nasa Moodle din siya. Do you have any questions? Naintindihan ba? Naintindihan naman. Sorry, ang gulo talaga ng aming kapitbahay. Nagpupupukpok. Oo. Okay, do you have any questions, class? If you have any questions, you just message me kung nahihiya kayong itanong. Okay? So